primary ignition.
This is Star Wars.
Look out!
Core World News.
You may fire when ready.
From the bright center of the galaxy, I'm Greg Skumback, and you're listening to Core World News, your Honda news service providing in-depth coverage of the latest stories from around the galaxy. Now, the news segment rundown for September 11th, 2022. More mouse than man. We now join the Core World News team to discuss all the reveals and announcements from the D23 Expo.
Yes, thank you very much, Grex. Welcome, everyone. Fun week this week. We are preempting our review of Princess and the Scoundrel till next week because of D23. So we're going to just talk about all the things that happened this weekend, doing the old roundup. Why don't we just go around? There was a lot of little smatterings of things that happened. What was everyone's favorite? What did people like from this weekend?
Ooh, so many to choose from. I gotta say Willow. When I saw the Willow trailer, guys, I can't even tell you the jubilation, the warmth, the just sense of adventure that I got from that trailer. I was so excited to get back into that world, and I really, really loved that trailer in particular. It just gave me like the warm fuzzies inside, and then just Indy 5 stuff. Anything I could hear about Indy 5, I got super excited about. So
yeah. And so is Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I mean, he shed a few tears over it. I mean, he's loves this franchise, so it's so cool to see him do this big finale here, and so I can't wait to see that in particular. What
about you, Adam?
Similarly, a lot. I mean, all that stuff. Willow blew me away. As a movie that was very integral to my childhood. I'm very much looking forward to this. Love that. Werewolf by Night, I am super fascinated by. It's one of those things. The first time they did something where I'm like, "What is this?" Like, it's one of the first times I've ever like not been ahead of it.
That movie is directed by Michael Giacchino, right?
It is a movie, right? But it's like direct to streaming, like, which I'm glad they're starting to dip their toe.
Is Moon Knight going to be in that movie? Like, I didn't see him in the trailer.
I'm guessing it'll be a special.
Okay. That trailer was gorgeous. The black and white.
It's super grindhouse.
Film grain, the like film burn. Like, it's so cool.
Man thing. It looks great. I will say my other favorite thing was Star Wars related, to be on point. And this is one that we probably wouldn't have covered if it wasn't for me. So I'll mention it now.
All right.
So love Galaxy's Edge. I've talked about my trip to Galaxy's Edge. We may be talking more Galaxy's Edge in several months. But one of the things that kind of bums me out about it is it's era locked, meaning that like if you go in there, the only people are from that time period, specifically between episodes 8 and 9. So if you want to do any like character meet and greets, it have to be characters from 8 and 9, who I love, which is great. But they just revealed that they're gonna kind of let up on that a little bit, and it's not gonna like the rides aren't gonna change, but there's gonna be character photo ops and stuff. And the one they're announcing it's gonna happen in November is the Mandalorian with a fully automatic Grogu attached to his hip.
Oh,
so you can go visit the Mando and Grogu at Galaxy's Edge.
That's a great ad.
Very cool.
It's a great
even Thrawn Alliances sort of shows, the past of Galaxy's Edge with the prequel trilogy era.
Yeah.
With Anakin, right. That story, if you've read that book.
Yeah.
I would love to see them kind of broaden the timeline.
I'm just glad they're being a little looser with that. Everything has to be canon thing with Galaxy's Edge.
So mine was also Star Wars related. It is behind me, right here. Our listeners can't see it, but it's Skeleton Crew. It's just an image, but just that the show is getting made, makes me really happy. And the story about like Favreau sort of coming up to Jon Watts and Jon Watts being like, hey, we'd love to get you involved, and he's like, oh, I have a fully formed show, and he's like, oh, really? And then it's this Skeleton Crew idea, and I think I'm just really excited about this show. It's sort of it just has that sort of magic serendipity of a lot of things coming together at the right time. I think this sort of Amblin Entertainment, story about young people is perfect for Star Wars. Jude Law is going to be awesome. I liked, I really liked both of those Spider-Man movies, or all three of the Spider-Man movies that Jon Watts did, and I just think it's going to be a great show. The only thing I'm curious about is what era it's going to be. Have you heard any rumors about that?
Yeah, Grant, what do you think?
Wasn't it High Republic era? I feel like they had mentioned it was possibly High Republic.
Now we're all going to be contradicting each other. I was fairly certain
the tail end of it.
I thought it was Mando era. I thought this was part of the Mandoverse, but I could be wrong.
And if I was going to guess, I would guess probably like Obi-Wan era, like sort of
the Rise of the Empire
Purge era. You know, I imagine him sort of probably with Force sensitive kids trying to save them or something. But
wouldn't this be fun if it took place, you know, parallel with Acolyte like that? That's almost what I'm thinking.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I would love it. I would love it outside of the saga, even if it's. I mean, I would love it if it was post Rise of Skywalker. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's sort of like his adventure with these Force sensitives. Maybe one of those kids is Broom Kid from The Last Jedi.
That's a great pull. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And like, what do we do with them? And then of course it would, you know, easily someday dovetail in with Finn, or Rey.
Yeah. Yeah. Wikipedia has it set as 9 ABY, but I don't know what the source of that is. So we'll see.
Wow, so that
is that
would
era
right there. Yeah, that's
I just
pretty much
thought you were doing that, but it might have just that might be because it was talked about when all the shows were announced in the middle of kind of like Mando stuff. So it might be a bit of presumption, you know, amongst people, and the fact that Favreau is involved with it and he seems to have a very specific area. But I don't know. I love those. I would prefer both of those to my guesses. Not that I wouldn't like my guess. I just like those takes more than my kind of basic studio driven, which is like, well, we've introduced Luke, we've introduced the Jedi Temple, and we might have someone who has found Force sensitive kids who are ferrying them to Luke Skywalker.
And also evading sort of the contingencies cloning project too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cloning project is probably looking for Force sensitive kids still, even you know, after the fall of the Empire. Yeah, that's great. And he's sort of sheltering them and taking them, you know, into the far reaches of space, of the galaxy, and they're all Force sensitive, and it's like a Force sensitive family. That's a wonderful show, if that's what the show is.
Yeah. There's a lot of good places I can go, and I just like it when super talented writers and directors love Star Wars, and like they do like what Grant does, which is like Grant writes a script, and it's like they have these ideas. If they're that passionate about it and they have it, and then they get the opportunity and it comes around, those are the scripts I want to see. Those are the ideas I want to see on the big screen. So I love that it came to fruition. I love that Lucasfilm was like agile enough to, you know, to just be like, oh yeah, we can do that. Let's make it, like, put it in the works, and then just like immediately pounce and.
So in the image behind you, what do you think his response will be? Do you think he'll speak Huttese? Because I almost need Jude Law to speak Huttese.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Of course he will. Yeah.
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 I was thinking that the other night. There should be more foreign languages in Star Wars, like different. I mean, there's like Huttese, and like that's kind of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like a French for the Twilly.
Yeah, that would be cool. I also think like being a sound engineer, like just like song, like straight, like sort of like singing tones. I was thinking about that when I was reading Padawan, that like strange world and how they can, like, the plants communicate with each other, and like. But like, they could do a lot. You could do a lot of really fun stuff with sound design and language.
Skeleton Crew could do that with a diverse cast, like, of different humanoids. Like, it could all their planets, and you could see how each of their cultures, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. You can see the kids. Yeah, you can see the kids behind him in the picture, but we know, look, at least 2 or 3 of them are pretty clearly human or near human, but the other couple, they could have some aliens in there too, which
looks like an alien to your right.
Yeah.
I think I see a Rhodian in the front. I see a snoot.
I'm very excited for this show. Yeah. So Mandoverse 9 ABY. Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe we don't know don't know where that's coming from, but yeah.
They're saying next year, like anticipated 2023, which would be crazy. And I think they said it was tough. The article I read, I think, was Screen Rant or something, and they said it was $136 million budget, but I think they were talking about Andor.
Yeah.
But it was in an article about this, and they didn't name Andor. They just said the next series will be $136 million. So I assume that is Andor's budget.
I would assume, but they're spending money on these things. Like
Yeah.
this is now the big business. I mean, the fact that, I mean, we talk about those things that didn't happen that surprised us and at some point, but like the fact that they didn't talk about any movies just seems to signal that they are focused on the TV right now, which, I mean, that doesn't mean they're not focused on the movies. I'm hoping part of it means like we're not rushing anything. Like we're letting creative people take their time, because that was the thing that kind of, I think, impacted the first round of movies the most, was this tight that they had to stick to and they couldn't move past. And now it's just like, no, let a movie percolate. If it takes another extra year, fine. We've got 7 other shows you can watch while you're waiting for this movie.
Right. Yeah, I wonder like what A New Hope would have been if they had more time. You know, like even that movie was rushed. Yeah,
I think he took 3 years in the creative process though for Star Wars. So
I hit the reverse of that. Imagine what A New Hope would have been if they said he turned in his first script in 74 and was just like, yeah, great, it's got to be made by the end of 75.
Yeah.
Do you imagine what Star Wars would be like if that happened? Oh, yeah.
Right.
You know, other kind of bad news, quote unquote, is that Bad Batch. We've got an official release date a little further down the road than we were expecting. So that's pushed to January.
A lot of things coming in 2023. So
yeah. That's what I figured. I couldn't imagine them having 2 new shows running concurrently.
Yeah.
Because sooner in the pipeline we have Tales of the Jedi, which was another huge highlight of the.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I loved every frame of that. that's where I'll start. Every frame. That's what I like.
Yeah. The animation continues to improve and shine, and it looks unreal. And so did you catch a release date for that then?
October 26th.
Oh wow. So
All
that
6,
will be running
right around the corner.
And it's similar to what they did with Visions. All 6 episodes are dropping day and date. Like it's October 26th, all 6 eps.
Nice.
I think they're shorter too, right? I don't think they're supposed to be. I don't think they're long. They're probably around the same length as that Visions, I would guess.
What do you think they got going on? Like, what do you think the motivation is for Tales of the Jedi? Like, between Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy. Like, what are they?
It's to show two Jedi that basically strayed from the path, and the other sort of became better than the Jedi, which is Ahsoka.
Right.
And,
it is interesting.
Gray Jedi, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
how dare you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a cursed word.
Take a lap around the space station, Grant.
But I love this that they're drawing parallels between 2 characters I never would have thought as having parallels, but they totally do, right? And in terms of like the Lucasfilm or Star Wars larger motivation, I'm guessing part of it was Dave Filoni just walked in and said, "I want to do this," and Kathleen Kennedy said, "Okay, Dave." I think that's kind of where he's at, the pull he has nowadays. It's
not a full season. It doesn't need to be concepted out and be huge. It's just cool stories that they want to tell that they can just sort of like crank out, which is kind of fun.
They were characters that are the most intimate to Anakin and Obi-Wan. So it adds so much context to the story itself.
And we know it's going to be at least half Ahsoka focused. And so that might be part of it as well, as trying to keep Ahsoka in, everyone talking about Ahsoka before Ahsoka, the series comes out. It might also be good for people who are not going to watch all of the Clone Wars and watch all of Ahsoka. This is something like my wife, I probably will put together a playlist for us to sit down and watch together Ahsoka Prime, because she's very interested. But I'm wondering, we'll definitely sit and watch this. I'm wondering if this will just it goes through a lot of her story, it looks like, kind of from being chosen, right? Going off to the Jedi up to training with Anakin. So
yeah, and like almost to like the fall of the Republic too. I think there was, if I saw it right, there was like some juxtaposition between her training with Anakin and then her sort of like survival mission, just trying to survive on Mandalore with Maul.
Yeah.
And getting hunted by clones. So he was all.
We also see Anakin teach her how to survive an encirclement of clone troopers. Which
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was so powerful. He's just, I mean, it was dark and super powerful. Like we get him just being like, I'm going to train I can't always protect you. So I'm going to train you how to protect yourself, which is always good, I guess, fatherly advice. But and he's just like, again, and she's just just like a hopeless situation surrounded by like 25, 30, like a whole platoon of like unstunned and just trying to defend herself. It's awesome.
And that's how she survives.
That is how she survives. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got to go past even the fall of the Republic, right? Because she's facing off with an Inquisitor.
Yes. And we get a new Inquisitor.
We do. And we get Yaddle.
You were pretty sure that, that's Yaddle, right? Fighting Dooku?
I think it must be fighting Dooku. Yeah. So I think we're getting like, probably, it looks like it's going to be 3 Ahsoka and 3 Dooku stories. It would be my guess. Yeah. And it might be Ahsoka of like, here's her being chosen, right? Or being taken. Here's her training, and here's her surviving, right? After the fall of the Jedi. And again, if you haven't seen anything, that might be enough that you need to know to walk into the Ahsoka series.
Right. And be like, okay, that's who this person is. Yeah. So are you pretty sure about that? Because I thought they would all be very different vignettes. I thought like maybe they just showed us parts from only 2 episodes.
The reason I'm saying that is it says I gotta find the catchphrase, but it's like 6 episodes, 2 stories, 1 something, right? It says something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to find they'll all relate a little bit in some way. So I'm really excited about that. It looks beautiful.
I hope it delves into the Jedi Order itself and sort of their teachings and what it means for both of them as they're sort of progressing through the ranks. That would be really cool. And I mean, I'm a big fan of the old Tales of the Jedi comics, which I was almost, when I saw the title and the font, I immediately thought we were going to get into like Numi Sunrider and Yulik Keldroma and like Exar Kun and like the Frida Nad uprising, like all this crazy stuff. But no, it's these 2 Jedi. And so I hope that at least it maybe dives into the lore a tiny bit, especially if it's exploring Dooku's past. I would love to see him sort of search for lore and relics and teachings that go beyond the Jedi.
I would love that, man. Yeah. It does feel a little bit like if the longer we stick within this like Skywalker saga, we just keep relitigating the fall of the Jedi. And I'm kind of like, can we just give that a rest for a bit? Like, I'd love to see stories told outside of this. Tell me new stories that may have nothing to do with anything, or maybe they plant seeds for characters that can be used at another time. I'd love to see it get a little bigger. But I mean, dude, Jedi Dooku looks pretty cool.
Like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No,
Qui-Gon apparently
that,
is. Like, you get young Qui-Gon and you get Elder Qui-Gon, and I think Elder is voiced by Liam Neeson proper, and younger is voiced by Liam Neeson's son.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I guess I read that somewhere in one of the coverage articles.
Awesome. That's super fun, man.
Yeah, that's great.
What else did we get here? We got a Mando season 3 trailer, which is really, it appears to be the video that they showed at was it the
Celebration? I think?
Celebration, Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. But that was like private, or supposed to be private, but it got leaked. A lot of fun stuff in that trailer that I missed the last time. Well, I guess we got to see, maybe it's Babu Frick, but some Anzellan.
Oh, that was 100% Babu Frick.
Yeah,
100%. I got sad news for us guys. We are no longer Mandalorians. We've removed our helmets.
We have removed our helmets. I know. We all have our Mando helmets sitting next to us.
We need to go to like the subterranean caverns of Mandalore and bathe in the waters.
Yeah. You think he's going to rewrite the rules? I mean, like, I feel like there's going to be other Mandalorians that are just dunking on Din Djarin for being in this cult, like death cult. I think there was a quote there that was like, it was your cult, extremist cult that brought this.
Your fanatics.
Fanatics,
yeah. The Children of the Watch. That's a pretty like cultish name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot of rumors going around earlier this year that this would be the last season of The Mandalorian. But that the next season they're going to have a new series called Mandalore, basically. And so I don't know where that comes from, but I think a lot of us are anticipating that Din Djarin is going to be right. Is going to be the one. And if you're telling a story, you have to have someone who unites, not divides, right?
Yeah.
So is that what his role is going to be with the Darksabers, pulling all of these sects together to reform, right? And so I think that's what we're going to start seeing, is that he's like, no, I took my helmet off because of this, right? Because of this reason. That does not make me less of a Mandalorian. And I'm sure there's going to be a speech about why that makes him more of a Mandalorian. We can all take our helmets
off. We can enjoy a bowl of soup
together. Look at each other in our eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's, when he's talking about Creed and like how the Jedi refuse attachment, and he's like, that's the opposite of what we believe, and it's just like, how do you connect when you're always closed off?
Right.
He took it off because of his care for the child and like, looking at him as a son, and was just like, no, I need to connect.
Which is what they do, right? He was bringing someone into Mandalore, like he was making a new connection, which is what you have to do, because the Mandalorians are found, right?
Yeah,
they're foundlings. They're made with foundlings. Am I wrong, or did we not hear Mando's voice at all in that preview? I just had that realization that I don't remember him speaking a line in that.
Right, we had two VOs. I forget the second one is Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
And the first one is the armor.
Is the armor. So we don't. Yeah. So we get no Mando talk, which is fine. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo-Katan calls out his cult, and I think I sense a challenge there. I think she wants the Darksaber back, and I think she wants to take control of Mandalore. And I hope that fight happens, because the last fight with Paz Vizsla was sweet, but a Bo-Katan Mando fight could be really, really a really cool spectacle. So I'm excited, and I hope that happens and transpires.
I wonder, we saw in Rebels, Kanan Jarrus training Sabine Wren with the Darksaber.
Right.
I was just and we know that he needs training. With
Guys, can we talk about Ahsoka? Can we segue to Ahsoka now that you've said Darksaber this many times?
Sure, right after this, and then we'll seg right into it. But because I just want to say, like, someone's got to train him in the Darksaber. And at first I was like, oh, maybe it'll be Ahsoka, because she's, but it could be Sabine Wren herself, who's like passes on that training from Rebels to him, which would be pretty fun.
That would be awesome. Yes.
And so in Ahsoka,
on the topic of Sabine Wren, we actually get a still. There's a still that's been released, I think, officially, of Sabine Wren in Ahsoka, looking at the art of the Rebels crew that's actually in the show. She's, I think, on Lothal, so she's there. I think Lothal will be featured heavily in Ahsoka. I'm very excited for that.
Well, I'd love to see that in live action.
Yeah, because there was also news, actually right before D23, about Amon Esfandi being officially cast as
the Bridger.
As a Bridger, right? Which is he doesn't have a very long list of acting credits, and I don't think I've seen him in anything. So I can't comment on that, but man, what great in terms of like look. What
he looks exactly
like Andy. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he looks like a grown-up Ezra Bridger. It's great. I'm very excited by that.
Incredible. The casting for everyone in the show has been outstanding.
Oh yeah,
so far,
spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. I've also heard that the lightsaber combat, I think Favreau said it. There's a quote
he did.
That they said the lightsaber combat in Ahsoka is off the charts, or I forget what the actual quote is, but he just says it's really incredible action. So. What does that mean though? Who's Ahsoka fighting with a lightsaber? Is it Thrawn? Is it Ezra? Like, what does that mean?
It's Ezra.
So that means Ezra Ahsoka lightsaber fight. That is so cool. I can't wait to see what happens.
I think.
And what does that mean for the story? Like story implications.
I'm wondering if it's bringing Ezra back from the dark a little bit. I wonder if he's a little broken. We don't know what the unknown regions has done to him,
It's also like he used the world between worlds to save her, but he couldn't save Kanan, and he might be like I couldn't save my master or something like that. And we all know what that means if you're a Rebels watcher, viewer, what that means. But for everyone else to have like this really great dialogue about a master, a lost master almost or something.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I just think, I mean, we all know what I'm pulling for because, you know, my optimal Ezra
if they don't do Adam's Ezra story, I really am going to.
There's no way they're gonna do that. And that's just not like they're not brave enough to do it. I'm just like they got other stuff in mind. But I don't think. I mean, we don't have a lot of room for a fallen Jedi in this time period, right? We know Ahsoka hasn't fallen. We know Luke hasn't fallen. It's pre-Kylo. Who do you want a dark Jedi out there, don't you? Like, you need that in the universe, and the kind of this out of process elimination, unless you introduce a totally new character, which you absolutely could do. I think Ezra's your best bet, and I don't want him to be like finger tenting evil and like fall completely dark side, but someone who's struggling, right? Who has lost the light a little bit and needs to be brought back to it. And what a better way than have Ahsoka do that, right? He saved Ahsoka. He brought Ahsoka back. Now Ahsoka has to bring him back, right?
Right.
I love that. I'm gonna pretend there weren't a million Ezra's Snoke theories that.
That might have been an outside chance that I was pulling on that, but yeah.
That was I think that was that was the most popular theory at the time. It was
he became a 10-foot alien with a massive head wound. That would be cool. I'm down for all that. I just want to see him again. He's a great character, and I'm totally in love with all the characters from Rebels, so it'll be great. Yeah.
Just saying his name, that was incredible.
Dude, that series gets wild towards the end. Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Emperor, Sheev Palpatine, they come out of the woodworks.
Yeah, I'm very excited to do a rewatch with my wife. We're definitely gonna sit down and do that.
Yeah, Rebels rewatch, baby.
Yeah. All right. I guess we left the biggest for last. Another trailer of Andor. Do we want to talk about that?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think
just give us the show.
Just give us a show. It's coming out next week.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday. Man. We're like 10 days away.
Yeah, 10 days away. Yes. Yeah. I know it's soon, and we're getting 3 episodes, which is awesome.
Yeah. Are we going to see a Star Destroyer lay waste to a planet, but just from like the ground basically, and like running around? Because that would be terrifying.
Yeah. Just like plasma bolts just like hurtling out of the sky at you, just like raining disaster. No thanks.
Running full speed.
Yeah, running full speed and everything. Yeah, no way. Yeah, I am totally in blackout. I didn't even watch the trailer, man. I'm already excited. We could very possibly be getting 2.5 hours of Andor next week. So just give me the real thing, and I'll just try and lift my jaw off the floor and enjoy it.
I did watch the sneak peek, and I did watch I guess the short
me too. Yep.
that they put out there, and it was great. I like the action. I mean, you're gonna love the firefights in this. Fights,
of course,
that was great. That was good.
I wasn't like thrilled though. I wasn't like on the edge.
No,
I was waiting for maybe a larger cities.
I think as I get older, I was just like, no, don't start shooting. Keep talking. The talking's wonderful. Like the conversation between Stellan's. Yeah, like Stellan Skarsgård and him, like they're trading quips and barbs and like mystique and mystery, and I'm like, no blasters. Just keep doing that for another hour, please. Like I was so in on that.
Put it in a holster already. I want to hear about the trade routes.
Mm-hmm.
The trade
routes, you say?
Yeah, let's go talk about that. Yeah, I read a quote randomly about like they're going to talk about gender politics in the Empire, and I'm like, yes, let's go, let's do this.
It's real people, real problems. It feels like the Westeros of Star Wars. I'm very excited.
Yeah. All right.
It just seems like it's going to be each person's sort of like traumatic arc in some way, because this time is not a great time. If you guys don't know, not a great time.
Not a great time. It's kind of a bummer. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be Michael Clayton on a Star Destroyer, and that's what you are so effed right now. You are so effed.
I guess the other thing we technically didn't talk about, but we don't have to cover it all, is that they did announce a little bit about that Young Jedi Adventures show.
Oh, really? I missed that.
Yeah, but that's for. Like,
I saw an Ewok Jedi and I just zoomed in.
Oh,
I double clicked.
I mean, it's for like
that.
It's real young. It's Disney Plus, Disney Junior 2023. It is an animated. It's preschoolers and grade schoolers. It takes place during the High Republic, so it's like not a ton of canon going on there. But like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, well, good to know what's in my future because
Charlie's gonna watch a lot of that.
Having a little kiddo, I'm like, well, I guess I have a excuse that I can put this on and not feel weird.
Yeah. That looks for parents everywhere.
I love the art.
High
Republic era?
High Republic.
Ooh.
And two character names, Cal Brightstar and Nash Durango.
Nice.
Now, Cal Brightstar is almost as good as Numi Sunrider, so.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Almost as good.
Almost
as good. Brad, man, I'm so excited for all this stuff. And I'm glad to be plugging into it. It's going to be a really fun ride. Andor is just right on the doorstep. We're still catching up on all the books the novels that have come out. We're going to talk about Princess and Scoundrel next week. Fingers crossed that we all can finish that. It's a very busy time in the core worlds these days for all of us. Mm-hmm. So we're doing our best. But Star Wars is always there for us. Just, gleaming in a million points of light. So we'll do that. We've got comics to catch up on, right? I think there's maybe a Bounty Hunters arc that we're due for.
Yeah. I have to double check, but we definitely got some stuff.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
And the High Republic Phase 2 is coming, which I can't wait for. I need more High Republic in my life. I need to bring that back.
Yeah. It was one of those things where we kept having it. So I was just like, this is great. Like, I'm enjoying this, but I was just like, I didn't know how much I loved it in some ways until it went away for a while, where I'm like, wait, there's no new High Republic stuff for like a year? No. Like, that's no. Like, I need this.
We have Path of Deceit, I think, right on the horizon.
Yeah, I think October. I think next month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'll be the first entry into this. And it's going to be wild because it's like we have so many. They kind of left Phase 1 on a cliffhanger of sorts. And we're not going to see those characters for a while. I don't know if they're coming back in Phase 3 or, if Phase 3 will be far future. And so they'll be sort of, we'll be picking up bits and pieces of how it played out. But it'll be great to see a whole new cast of characters, a whole new era. It'll be even more primitive in Phase 2. So that's going to be really fun. So
super excited for that. I love more primitive.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if we've done D23, do you guys want to play a game?
Ooh, yes, please.
Game time.
All right. Why don't we play a game?
Look, good against remotes is one thing. Good against the living, that's something else.
Every time I think of a game, I'm like, I just fiercely type it in there. So I can be like, all right, let me see if I can develop that more later.
Yeah, coming back for it. Okay, so it's my turn
I just got my next game.
All right, nice. Grant's got his next game. These are tougher to come by the further down the line with games, trying to play a new one each week. It's my turn to create the game, and I'm calling this one Sidekicks. All right. So the way the game works is I name a sidekick, and you tell me who they are sidekick to. Which is an easier version of than if I just gave you a person name and be like, oh, tell me their sidekick. That's a different game.
Yeah.
Could there be multiple answers? I mean,
no.
Okay. Because like Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader. All right. Well,
right. I mean, obviously, so I would say if I said Chewbacca, you'd say Han Solo.
Yeah,
right.
Let's go.
Not that, and I'm not trying to put anyone down here, man. Sidekick is not a pejorative. Let's face it, they're usually a helper to a main narrative character. And they're always around, and so they're with each other.
And then I'm going to ask, does this include EU or just new or canon only?
I'm a canon only type of guy.
Okay, fair enough. I like it.
So yeah, I'm going to keep it there. Otherwise, it does get kind of wild. These might be too easy. They might be too awesome. I don't know.
All right.
All right. I'm going to start with, all right, here's the first one. The first one is Eli Vanto.
Thrawn.
Correct. That's correct, Grant. Nice.
Like, I know the name. I've read it. I read it over 100 times.
The toughest part of this game will probably be remembering the character. You probably know who the character is, but you'll forget the name. So there's just 7 of these. I did 7 of them, the odd number. So
Perfect.
We'll be able to get a winner. Yeah, no time. All right, ready for the second one?
Sure.
Well, actually, I just want to talk about Eli Vanto for a second.
Yeah,
that guy's awesome. He's one of my favorite, and there's rumors that we're going to see him in live action with Ahsoka, because we're obviously chasing down Thrawn right now. And Eli Vanto
with the Chiss. He's living with the Chiss.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he was one of the he was in officer school with Thrawn when Thrawn came up. So this is coming from the canon first Thrawn trilogy that Timothy Zahn wrote. I believe. Right. Yeah.
Thrawn, I think.
And so he's always sort of stuck under Thrawn, but Thrawn really respects him, and as he does all of his proteges. And he respects him so much that he sends him back as a messenger to the Chiss Ascendancy. I think he sent him to Aralani, if memory serves. But they did an exchange program.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, he's one of my faves. I do love all sidekicks.
Very cool character.
But yeah, very cool.
Would love to see him in Ahsoka. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Right. Okay. Here is sidekick 2, Imri Kantaros.
Oh.
I think I have the era, and now I'm trying to think of.
Well, I got it.
What do you got, Grant?
Comac Vitus?
Ooh.
No, Emmerich. Emery.
Yeah, you're in the right era. That's why I can't think of any of their names.
Man, that's a pretty good one, Grant, actually.
It's the other guy. It's the other character. I know.
Yeah, it's the other character. Yeah. It's so it's like what's this guy's name? You've got it, Imri Kantaros, because I believe Comac Vitus was his master.
Right, because we're talking about High Republic, and it was what is her name? Yeah. Speaking with a
this is the one I was like, you're just gonna forget her name because you're like, oh wait, is it which of those characters is it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's not Orla
but she's the one that has the cool light. Yeah. Is it the lightsaber whip or is it a different one?
Yeah, it's lightsaber whip.
Yeah.
I
got something.
All right, Grant.
Vanestra.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep, that's the one.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well,
took you guys a while to get there, but I think Grant's got to get. That's the trouble. It's like when's the last time you thought about all of their names?
Yeah.
Okay, this one. These are not in order of difficulty. They're just kind of all over the
Okay.
map. And this one I may have taken liberties. Treadwell.
Luke Skywalker.
That's a good one. Though he doesn't really spend much time with Luke. He spends his time with this other entity.
Owen.
Can I go?
Brew.
Jawa.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, Grant.
Jawa.
Oh no. Although did we see Treadwell?
He's on. He's out on the farm, on the moisture farm in episode 4.
Yes, and we see him in Mandalorian. It might not be the same one, but with what's her name in the, but it could just be the same model.
Right.
It's actually I was thinking of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that's right. We do get he gets a hero moment, doesn't he? With is it long shot or
yes?
Or is it from a certain point of view? It's from a certain point of view. Empire.
Chapters.
Yes,
it's the one where it's the Millennium Falcon gets what's her name? I can't think of. Yeah. All right.
Yep, he gets his hero moment there, and you see him just sort of rolling around on the Falcon and Empire.
Yeah,
he's just like he's an assistant droid there, but I think of Millennium Falcon as a character itself.
Yeah.
So
yes. That was picked up anyway. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was 3. I'm not giving any points to that one because you guys all tried hard, but this is a game and there are rules. This isn't
It's a game, so I'm not going to sit here and try to fight it. But
this isn't the Clone Wars. There are rules. Okay. BT1.
Can I go?
Yes.
Dr. Aphra? Dr. Aphra?
Negative. Not the closest.
BD1? BD1?
BT1.
Oh, Cal Kestis? Oh no,
that's
BT1. Oh,
BT1.
Yeah. Is BT1 no, that's Mr. Bones. So it's not what's his name.
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah.
All
right.
I mean Aphra's close, but I would yes, Grant.
Snap Wexley?
No, you are thinking of Mr. Bones now.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking.
You were on it in the first place, Grant, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
000.
Triple.
Yep.
Because BT. I mean, they do kind of. I mean, technically, it is Aphra because Aphra brought him back to life. But I think
I mean, it's like if you said R2, it would be 3PO, right? Like, or I guess it could be Luke. But I agree that BT is 000. I mean, either way, Grant got it.
Yeah.
Or it's like Dr. Aphra. It's like instant. Or
And I mean, I bet you have those comics ingrained in your memory more than I do, because I think I was like casually reading the comics at that point because we had all just met sort of the beginning of that arc. But
that's actually a good.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I think you're right.
000.
But he's the one, like, I always remember 000's name, but I can never remember BT1.
B2.
Yeah. He's a blastromech.
It's so epic. Giant rockets.
Yeah, I miss BT1. I miss them both. They're like, I'm never like read a comic and am more afraid than when I'm reading like an arc with like BT and 000, because they're always talking about torturing humans and like draining their blood. And I'm just like, oh man, what am I going to see in the next page? Like,
a Dr. Aphra AAA game would be incredible if those were like the NPCs that just helped you along the quest. And
but like could kill you at any moment if you like upset them.
Sure.
That would be a great pitfall. Be like, oh, BT keeps destroying me. Cool. All right. Then here is number 5. Ember.
Oh, it's another High Republic. She's a Charhound, right? Or is that?
Yes, she is.
It's go ahead, Grant. You don't have to raise your hand. Just say it.
Grant's raising his hand. No.
I could picture. I literally.
Oh,
could picture,
no way! I know this character.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
Oh.
You all have homework. You have to go home and you need to look at that infographic that I've never deleted the page once I open it up, and find out the difference between Keith Trennis, Vernestra Rowe, and this character. And Reith Silas.
Bell Zettif.
Yes.
Zettifar. I couldn't remember. Okay.
Yes, 1 point for Adam. That's great.
I'm listening. Like I was just sitting there, like crossing off the names I could remember, and then literally I was using the infographic because I remember what he looked like, and I was trying to figure out. Like anyway, so took me a second.
I know Portis Engel, the Blade of Bardata.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's my favorite character, so I should have known it was Bell Zettifar. But
yeah,
all right. At least I got a point. So at least I got a point. By the way, it still could be tied now because you didn't give either of us a point for one of them, and Grant has 3 points. I have 1. There's 2 left.
That's
so if I sweep it, it's a tie.
Yeah, if you sweep it, you can get a tie here.
I'm not going to sweep it.
So all right, get your button ready.
That was
Adam.
a good pull, Adam.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for number 6 here?
Sure.
Val.
Oh, Tobias Beckett.
Yay!
Nice. Oh, you might sweep. Oh no. That was quick.
I'm like, I literally remember I was like, what is the most normal name in Star Wars history?
But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of lied about the difficulty because this one's definitely the hardest one, number 7.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's no chance I'm going to get this. All right, let's see.
All right, the name is Losha Tarkon.
Nope.
Yeah. Losha Tarkon.
Go for it.
Nope.
Losha Tarkon.
Comics.
Okay.
I know this one.
What is it, Grant?
You know it?
Is it Nakano Lash or what?
I mean,
but
you're on the right track though, because it is bounty hunters, right? Like it's definitely bounty.
Yeah. Yep. It's one of those like peripheral bounty hunters that just show up, and you're like, why do I care about this story?
That's it. That's like I don't think
Their story's actually fascinating. This side plot's actually really cool, but
I don't know. I'm trying to think like
Tula.
Ooh, getting close.
Oh, if it's not Tula, it's Tonga.
Yes. What a tie.
I'm like, because I knew it's an apostrophe, so the T apostrophe. Oh, Grant, that sucks. I feel like I should not get that because the other reason why is because you said Tula and then it was wrong. And I'm like, if it's not Tula, it's Tonga.
All the comic characters.
Oh man, I gave you an odd number and you still managed to tie. Way to go.
Yeah.
You should all be very proud of yourselves. Yeah, Tonga, whose brother Tongar was murdered earlier on by Boba Fett, I believe, in the Nakano Lash incident. And then this was her partner as described in there, but special lady friend is another thing, and they go live on a moon for a while together.
That's right.
With
I
a
gotta
pet,
reread those.
giant monster, which seems idyllic, really.
See, I think the games would really excel if we kind of kept them in the comics, because there's so many new characters in there, and it's kind of hard to keep track of everything.
That's what I wanted to do, and it's good. It's good mental exercise to sort of round these up. It's like, all right, who's Reith Silas? Who's Bel Zettifar? Who's Renestra Rowe? They're very distinct characters, but like we don't get a chance to see them visually much unless we see them in the comics. And it's it's tough to differentiate a little bit in your brains. But I love knowing them all. Well, you know what?
That was a great game. That was fantastic, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Was it? What was the? Now I'm thinking of the Monster Hunters in. Is it Winlock and Nos?
Nos. Oh, that would have been a good one.
Oh, well, I think the issue with that is like I don't know if they're partners, right? And so.
Yeah.
But
I would probably said Nos because like you probably think of Winlock first, and so yeah.
I think it's Win-Loss and Knock. I'm trying to find it.
Oh,
it's Win-Loss and Knock. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna do a game that's called Winlock or Nos.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna tell you random factoids about them, and you have to tell me if it's Winlock or it's Nos.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh man. Win-loss.
Wait to my list of games as a if I really am out of games.
Oh, it's like a play on win, lose, or draw.
It's
a win, loss,
exactly.
Knock.
It's a Trandoshan in like a human, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then the woman is the Trandoshan. Yeah.
The woman is the Trandoshan.
Yeah. They are partners and partners. They're partners in every sense of the word, which is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, to all our listeners out there, thanks very much for listening. May you find partnership to the same degree
with
that
a Trandoshan.
Yeah, with a Trandoshan, or
sorry, step on it.
Trandoshan ferocity of love. And yeah, hope you had a great week. We'll talk about Princess and Scoundrel. It's a beautiful book next week, and then it's Andor time, baby. We're gonna be
Andor.
Full Andor for 10 weeks. We'll have to might have to do double eps. There's going to be other stuff that's coming out. We'll try and keep the news fresh. Reviewing Andor. But I can't wait to talk about that show. It's going to be great. So thank you everyone for listening again. And we'll talk to you next week. May the Force be with you.
This is Grex Kondak signing off. For the latest breaking news, follow @CoreWorldNews on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you and good night.
Remember, the Force will be with you always.